friends, it's Julie. Welcome back to Row & Co Farms, where we're telling the story of how we live, grow, eat, and work on our homestead. I'm so glad that you're back with us today. We're going to do an update on week 5 of the Pantry Challenge. If you guys have been following along with us for the last few weeks, you know that we have been participating in the Three Rivers Challenge along with Jessica over at the Three Rivers Homestead. We have been challenging ourselves to not go to the grocery store for the months of January and February and just strictly eat from our pantry, freezer, and fridge. Now, I did tell you guys that last week I ended up going to the grocery store. I needed some things that we just didn't have, that I wasn't willing to do without, and I had not been feeling well. And so we just had some circumstances come up where I did go to the grocery store. So my pantry challenge was a sort of a fail, but it's not, because we're still going. We're still gonna keep trying. We're still using stuff from our pantry. The few things that I did have to pick up were just some of those little basic fill-in type ingredients, and we still have lots of pantry items and lots of things that we are going to keep using. So I have a whole nother week of pantry meals that I'm gonna show you in just a minute. But I also wanted to show you what I have been working on for the last couple of days, which is restocking my pantry with things that were in my freezer. So meats are great in the freezer, but they don't last forever. Same thing with vegetables and fruits. And so I had some chicken and some strawberries and some other things that I needed to get out of the freezer and onto the pantry shelf so that they would be more shelf stable and that they wouldn't go bad. So I canned up some whole chickens. I canned up some black beans and some pinto beans. I also canned a whole 20 pounds of strawberries into strawberry sauce. And then I also used those same chickens to make a huge batch of bone broth as well. So even during the pantry challenge, I am restocking the pantry. And I love this part of being a homesteader because I really get to see the fruits of my labor all right here lined up in a row. It's really fun to do a session of canning and then come out with all of this on the other side of it. So look for a video to be coming out in the future with a lot of this canning involved, but I'm going to be canning a whole bunch more here very soon. I just ordered my very first All-American canner. It's a double stacker, so I'm going to be able to get a lot of canning done in the near future, and I can't wait to get some of that accomplished. I'm going to stock my pantry shelves with as many great fruits, foods, meats, soups, anything that I can figure out how to make, I'm putting it on the pantry shelf. So stick around for that if you're interested. Meanwhile, let's move forward with our week of pantry meals. I cooked 5 meals this week. There was a couple of nights that we just ate leftovers. And again, I'm only bringing you our dinners, guys. I have a hard time filming all day long with everything that we eat. And so it's just easier for me to stick with the meal that I know I'm cooking every day, which is dinner. So at the beginning of the week, we had a lemon pepper chicken. It was a whole chicken from one of our chickens that we butchered last year. It was covered with some lemon pepper, and then we had some roasted vegetables, carrots, potatoes, onions, and then I mixed that with a nice green salad. So let's go ahead and take a look at the footage of that here.
We took everything out of the oven and the chicken turned out beautifully. The potatoes were great. And look at these carrots and onions. Time to get them plated up and eat dinner.
So later that same day, I also made some gluten-free oatmeal cookies. They were amazing. The only thing I would change about this recipe is next time I would leave out the nutmeg. It just gave it a little bit of a taste that I don't necessarily care for, but I know a lot of people like nutmeg, but to me, it just kind of throws the taste off a little bit. So for my future reference, I will not be adding the nutmeg to the oatmeal cookies. Next night, we had some salmon cakes. And this was kind of fun, and I think I'm going to do this for the next few weeks of Pantry Challenge. I just kind of brought you along as I grocery shopped in the pantry and picked out all the items that I was going to need that night for dinner. So I think I'm going to keep doing that because I think you guys will like that. I ended up using that same rice the next night to make a chicken curry. Excuse me. So the chicken curry was from some of the leftover chicken that we made at the beginning of the week, the lemon pepper chicken. We just chopped up the chicken and we made a curry paste and we mixed up a great veggie mix with beans and chicken and the curry paste, and then we put that over the rice that we made the other day too. So that was just a really good remix of some leftovers that we already had made that week. And then the last night of the week, we had a bean dip. I just used some of the pinto beans that we had canned that day, and I mashed them up and made them into like a refried bean, put them over some of that leftover chicken, the lemon pepper chicken. I just added some new spices to it to make it taste a little bit more on the Hispanic side of things. And so I added a little bit of cumin and chili powder and paprika to that, and then added some cheese over the top, and then I ate that with some tortilla chips. It was really good. That same night that I ate that for dinner, my husband was invited. Well, actually we were all invited to eat dinner at the neighbor's house. I just didn't go because of my allergies, and so I just ended up eating the bean dip at home, and he went and enjoyed a great pasta meal with meat and all the stuff that I cannot eat. And I'm so grateful to my neighbors for inviting us to that and for having stuff for him to eat there. They did have some things for me to eat also, but I did not realize that until after it was already over and I had already eaten my meal at home. So they did send a plate back for me, and I ended up eating some of that as a leftover for lunch the next day. And I'm just really grateful to the neighbors for making that for us. So that was our week of pantry meals. I'm definitely going to be making more stuff again this coming up week 6. So we're going to be into the second week of February, and we've only got a few more weeks left of this pantry challenge, guys. And I have loved it so far, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it too. And I can't wait to see you guys next time here at Row & Co Farms.